Hello everyone, and welcome back to a new episode of Nerd Central. As always, I'm your host, Corby and we have a lot lined up for you all today. We got a new anime that is taking inspiration from an iconic game, a brand new trailer for the upcoming Spider-Man movie, and a fun update on the new movie in theaters starring Ryan Gosling. So let's jump into the news and kick this episode off right. Starting off, we start with the anime that has everyone's eyes on it. Sekiro No Defeat is an anime based on the video game Sekiro Shadows Die Twice, which was set in the Sengoku era of Japan. Playing as the shinobi named Wolf, it's your goal to save his master from an enemy clan and defeat those who seek him for his dragon heritage blood, a special kind of blood that offers resurrection to others. Back to the anime, it seems the show will follow the game's canon ending, with beautiful visuals and great animation to accompany it. No hard release date has been confirmed as of yet, but we'll keep our eyes peeled for the news on its release for this year. Next up, we get to talk about the new Spider-Man trailer, and trust me when I say this, it definitely delivers. Slated for July 31st of this year, the trailer shows us a side of Peter Parker after the events from the previous film, No Way Home. It seems he's more akin to the comic book version of himself, with fans being actually happy that he portrays the more broken, sad version of Spider-Man seen in the comics. Speaking of comics, the trailer had tons of references to classic comic book covers that really resonated with people in terms of nostalgia and overall nice eye catchers. From having the Punisher driving and hitting Spider-Man to showing Bruce Banner as a key character, this movie is shaping up to be a certified comic book classic for all fans to enjoy. And finally, to wrap up the news, we get to talk about some exciting news on an actor I personally think is amazing. Project Hail Mary is a movie based on the 2021 novel, and it has been receiving high praise and reviews. Fun fact, by the way, this movie has a near perfect rating on Rotten Tomatoes that it actually broke Gosling's previous record of highest rated film, Remember the Titans. For now, the movie is projected to be a serious blockbuster hit, but only time will tell. Project Hail Mary is already out in theaters, so go on and watch the movie for yourself, and come back here and let us know what you thought about the movie. And that brings our news to a close. Honestly, I'm excited to go and see Project Hail Mary since I've actually read the book, so I'm pumped up to see how the movie holds up. Next up, we have some commercials for you all, but after that, we have a pack from Colton with another peak anime choice. Stick around, everybody.
Kirsten, what are you doing here?
What do you think I'm doing here? Making TikToks? And it's not about what I do, it's about what we do here. So we start with storyboarding the content we want to create for our clients. It could be anyone from small businesses, nonprofits, and organizations both on campus and in the Maryville community. We write, we film, we edit, we create, and then we wait. So if you're someone who thinks you need us, we are KNWT Creative Services.
You know, some of our big stars like Royce Williams, they actually negotiated so they get to view the final cut of their highlights before we get to air them. It's crazy.
But I think if we zoom out a little bit right here, slow it down, maybe throw in some FX, some angel wings, a couple more defenders, I think we'll give it a really good shot.
Yeah, I really like that idea.
Yeah, sweet.
Hey Royce, we need that highlight.
Yeah, when it's ready, it's almost there.
Show's in 5 minutes.
No, when it's ready, it's almost there. But back to what I was saying, slow motion. Be a little bit better. Maybe enlarge it.
Noragami is based on the manga of the same name by mangaka artist duo Adachi Toka and animated by Studio Bones. Noragami follows its three main characters. First, we have Yato, a god who generally sucks at being one. With no worshippers, no shrine, no money, no maiden, Yato is a god down on his luck, taking the oddest of jobs to make ends meet. It's on one of these jobs that we meet our second character. Hyori Iki is a young girl who tries to save Yato, a literal god, from being hit by a truck. After she, the human girl, gets hit by the truck, she develops narcolepsy. Because sure, why not? But this isn't normal narcolepsy. She can now enter the spirit realm and see curses and lost souls and leave her physical body behind because yay! After she wanders about the spirit realm, or the far shore, because we in the physical world live on the near shore, she almost gets eaten. Yep, there are spirits that are hungry, and she looks like food. Well, she can hold her own just fine by imitating her favorite MMA fighter. The god can help more, but only if he has a weapon. Because of course, gods are famously powerless without weapons. This is where we meet our third character, Yuki. Yuki is a lost soul that Yato has turned into a regalia, a type of weapon used by the gods. Like Hiyori, Yuki is also an adolescent child, and yeah, you can see that they crush on each other, and it's super cute, and he was just a wandering soul, so she has to teach him how to be morally good so he doesn't accidentally kill his master Yato with a blight that grows by committing immoral deeds. Oh yeah, right. Aside from the cute romance between the kids and the incredible fight scenes between literal gods, Noragami has one of the coolest takes on body horror, with the concept of blight spreading like an infection with eyes mustering up through a body's person like barnacles that have drilled their way into a ship. The animation of Noragami gets a sad 7 out of 10. It's nothing to write home about, but it gets the job done. Like the animation, the story of Noragami leaves much to be desired. There's stakes that are introduced and the fight scenes feel satisfying, but the story should get a 6 out of 10. That would be if it didn't earn an extra point by having one of its main characters struggle with one of the lowest of lows that I cannot get into because it's a huge spoiler, and for that reason the story gets bumped up to a 7 out of 10. Trend of squeaking out more points for me continues with the music. With recurring songs and only one battle theme, it's very easy to point out specific songs that play over and over until they're drilled into your mind. Normally I would give the soundtrack a 7, but these songs just keep hitting. That one battle theme, a banger. Several of the tracks are wonderful combination of hip-hop EDM beats with traditional Japanese instruments that shouldn't work but do. It is baffling. The soundtrack of Noragami gets an 8 out of 10, bringing the total score of Noragami up to a 7? Really? No. This show means too much to me. We're bumping it up to an 8 because I said so.
Great pack, Colton. Noragami is a pretty fun anime that I've had on my list for a while. Next up, we have my nerd notes, but then after that, we'll have another pack from Josh and his mole movies. Let's see what I've covered in nerd notes. Welcome back to my nerd notes, everybody. Here I get on my little soapbox to talk about nerdy things I love or something I'm deeply interested in. Last week we talked about the classic cartoon regular show, and today we're going to move more towards the live-action side of content. From our news, we talked about the recent Spider-Man trailer that was released, but let's break down the Spider-Men of the past and where it started to where we are now.
Pizza time.
Released May 3rd in 2002, the first Spider-Man blockbuster film was released, and it was a massive hit. The movie was set to be an introduction to the character Peter Parker, a high schooler just trying to make it through school and succeed as a photographer, when all of a sudden, he gets bitten by a radioactive spider during a school field trip. After that, he begins to develop strange powers and weird occurrences, such as his eyesight being fixed, him being able to sense when something will happen, and other oddities that stood out to him. The film was a part of a trilogy of movies that all adapted different stories and villains for the web crawler, which really delivered on the action fans wanted to see.
Where am I?
The story they told through the 3 movies was okay, but some grievances fans had were partly due to the poor representation of characters like MJ and Harry, as well as the third film suffering from a very stuffed plot with many characters interacting with each other, and of course, the iconic Bully Maguire dance. Besides that, the 3 films overall did a great job at introducing these iconic characters to a younger audience and getting them familiar with people such as Venom, Green Goblin, and more. But this wasn't the only Spider-Man introduced for a younger audience. Released July 3rd of 2012, this film showed Peter in a comic book type of attitude with the quips he makes in the movies as Spider-Man, and also just how much of an intelligent character he is as Peter Parker, such as how he figured out the cure for the lizard in the first movie, and how throughout the movie his intelligence is really showed. This movie had a sequel which incorporated 2 different villains never seen on the silver screen, and had a story of tragedy for the friendly neighborhood arachnid. The difference between Andrew Garfield's portrayal of Spider-Man and Peter Parker compared to Tobey Maguire's portrayal is set in how the actors were with the characters. As I said earlier, Andrew's felt more comedic and quip-heavy while balancing the struggling sadness when it came to losing people he cared for, while Tobey's was much more focused on his career and origin story to set up the character and remind audiences who he was. But overall, I personally believe Tobey did phenomenal at portraying Peter Parker with his nerdy attitude, while Andrew was a better Spider-Man with all of his nuances and jokes. However, we're still missing one key Spider-Man actor. While the Spider-Man IP was set in stone with Sony, a shift happened around the year 2017. Released July 7th of that year, Spider-Man Homecoming was a monumental moment for the webhead fans and superhero community. For those who don't know, this was Spider-Man's official integration into the MCU, making the title Homecoming have more sentimental value, as a beloved character was finally back under Marvel's umbrella. The movie was a nice and fresh take on the wall crawler, as it didn't waste time with his origin story and instead gave us the teenage story of Peter Parker and how he handled school life as well as superhero life together, all while still being the lovable nerd fans loved him as. What was so good about Tom Holland's acting as Spider-Man was that he really nailed the best of both worlds from his predecessors, while balancing the nerdy life as Peter and still keeping the funny jokes and one-liners as Spider-Man. It gave fans a nice sense of enjoyment of seeing the hero on the screen for the 6th time. It was so good that it spawned 3 movies after the first, as well as having him involved in big blockbuster hits like Infinity War and Endgame. One final thing that made this so special was the direction the MCU took him. They went the path of multiple universes and were able to create a fan service movie of having all 3 Spider-Men fight together against their classic enemies from their respective movies. Not only that, but the ending of No Way Home was then the base point to set the new movies for Spider-Man, which we saw earlier today from the trailer. Overall, Spider-Man would not be as huge and popular in the current audience today if it weren't for these 3 amazing actors bringing the characters to life in their own ways. You can catch the movies with the 3 on Disney+, as I highly recommend watching the Tom Holland ones to better prepare yourself for the new movie coming this year. That's all the time I have for this segment, so let's get back to the show and continue with our content.
Hey everyone, my name is Josh Oswald, and welcome to Mole Movies, where every week I watch a movie that's somewhat underappreciated, underground, or straight up forgotten about, and then I give you my thoughts on them and what I like so much about them. Don't worry, I won't be playing any 1923 Serbian silent films told from the perspective of a sad shoelace, but we might get there eventually. So with all that out of the way, let's get talking about today's film, Reservoir Dogs, directed by Quentin Tarantino and released in the US on October 9th, 1992. In a warehouse in Okern, Oklahoma, a group of criminals slowly turn up after all participating in a diamond heist gone wrong. Under codenames related to colors, Mr. White and Mr. Orange are the first to show up, and we quickly learn this warehouse is the rendezvous point that everyone is supposed to meet at. However, these two aren't immediately concerned with where everyone is, considering Mr. Orange is profusely bleeding from a gunshot wound to the gut. But not willing to risk a hospital, they decide to wait until everyone arrives for further action. And as more members arrive, all it adds is more confusion to the story. Who escalated things? How did the cops show up so fast? Where's Eddie and Joe? Who's got the diamonds? Who's still alive? And all this distrust builds to the conclusion that one of the members has to be a police informant, and once that accusation is thrown out, it makes the safety of the warehouse come into question, and the distrust, aggression, and paranoia towards each other just continues to spiral out of control. And the audience really feels this distrust too through one of the key elements of this film. Even though this film is centered around a heist, we don't see any of it take place. Just the before and the after, and how the pressure of the whole situation cracks down on the robbers. The focal point of this film is the distrust between the characters, and almost all the technical aspects of this film work to reinforce that theme. One of the most useful tactics used in this film is the non-linear storytelling and editing. Instead of laying out all the events in order, we only get bits and pieces with context usually coming much later, really making the viewer also feel uncertain if someone is really telling the truth, and you feel like you're missing key pieces to a simple puzzle. To reinforce the paranoid confinement of the film, a lot of the shots tend to include most members in the frame to make them feel inescapable from each other. And you can see how they react to the others around them through body language and expressions. Not to mention, most of this film is set only in the warehouse, making this single location seem more unsafe the longer we're there. And this adds to the urgency and anxiety of the film. All these methods are used perfectly in tandem to create one of the most gripping portrayals of paranoia and fear, sticking the viewer right in the warehouse with the criminals and putting them in the middle of all the lies, exaggerations, half-truths, and panic. However, I'm gonna have to leave it there. This film is gruesome and wary, so watch this where you can and form your own opinion. I would give Reservoir Dogs a 10 out of 10, and I highly recommend this to anyone who enjoyed films like The Hateful Eight, The Irishman, and Drive. Thanks for watching, and see you next week.
Great pack again, Josh. Honestly, Mr. Pink is a little crazy for not wanting to tip, but that's just me. Next up, we have another set of commercials for you all, but fret not. After that, we have the last pack for today from Alex, and then another fun Nerd Corner segment. Stick around, everybody. Oh, hey, you're here. You ready to get started? Then let's go. At KNWT, we do a lot. We have sports, news, and so much more. But you're probably wondering, well, what do we do? Well, we do promos, behind-the-scenes looks at KNWT productions, and, well, everything creative in between. So, who are we? Well, we are Creative Services. Welcome back to another installment of Nerd Corner. As always, I'm your lovable host, Corby Raridan. And today, as always, we're joined by another special guest here at KNWT. She makes content for Creative Services and is a valued member of the Northwest community. Ladies and gentlemen, help me introduce Abigail Clay.
Yes, hello.
How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. I gave you a little bit of a good introduction.
Yes, you did. A valued member.
A valued member.
I feel appreciated. That's really nice. I'm a watcher of the show. I'm a great fan.
It's always good to have a fan.
I'm so happy it's my turn. It's my time, and I feel like I'll do good here.
Okay, so if you're a fan of the show, then you already know how it works.
Of course.
But just for the folks at home, we're going to give you 5 questions that are related to specific interest of yours. And you're going to have to guess multiple choice and see if you can get all 5 of them right.
Right, yeah.
Now, before we go into this, how good do you think you're going to do?
I think probably I'll set myself at like a median, like 3.
A 3?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've seen how this show plays out, so I don't want to set my expectations too high.
Okay,
so.
That's the exact same mindset we had with our last guest.
Yes, I saw Hayden LaValle.
Yeah, so, and with him, he actually did get all 5. So
yeah.
let's hope we can get a similar story with you here.
Yes.
But without further ado, should we hop into the game?
Of course, let's go.
All right, let's do it. Let's begin. Question number 1. Which K-pop group released the song Dynamite?
Now, people might get confused with other groups, but we have to recognize who paved the way. And let's
take a look at the answers here. So we got BTS, we got Blackpink, Twice, and EXO.
Right.
So I feel like this one might be a little bit of a toss-up.
Yeah. No, I don't have to think too hard. I think it's BTS. I think it's A.
Think it's BTS?
Yeah.
All right. We're gonna lock that in pretty confidently.
Very locked in.
Okay. Let's take a look at the answer. And I mean, come on. That's
yeah.
correct.
And purple. That's the representative color of BTS. I've heard you've heard some songs of BTS. You know Dynamite pretty well?
Of course I know Dynamite. I know the answer to this question, which is like a little, I mean, that's saying something because I don't really listen to too much the K-pop stuff yet.
Yeah.
But I dabble a little bit. So let's move on to question number 2. Already starting off strong. That's 1 out of 5. Let's take a look. Question number 2. Who is the youngest member of BTS?
God, oh.
All right. Here are the answers here. We got Suga, we got V, we got Jungkook, and we got Jimin.
See, okay, my bias in BTS is Suga, but since it's my bias, I know a lot about him, so we have to cut that one off. That's
Get that bias out of there.
elimination, unfortunately, even though he's my favorite. V and Jimin are actually the same, were born in the same year, but there's someone who was born younger than them, like 2 years younger than them, and that would be Jungkook. So I think Jungkook is the youngest member of BTS.
All right, little process of elimination.
Correct.
It seems you got, some extended knowledge on the BTS scene, you know?
I mean, what can I say? I'm pretty nerdy about BTS.
Let's go.
So.
All right, let's lock that answer in and let's take a look. That is correct.
Yes.
That is 2 for 2 right now.
Yeah, my ego's getting boosted. I think I can go 5 for 5 here.
Oh, all right. This is big. This is big news.
Yes.
Let's move on to question number 3. Already going in strong. Question number 3. In K-pop Demon Hunters, what weapon does Zoe use in battle?
Okay.
Now, this is a pretty big movie.
It is.
Pretty popular movie. I've seen it once, I can confirm. And I don't know the answer to this. I honestly forgot who Zoe was. She's one of the 3, I presume.
You would be correct.
So let's take a look at the answers here. We got claws. She just uses her hands, just punching them.
Right.
She uses a big hammer, or she uses knives.
Right. So I think people can get claws confused with knives. So I think that was a little like trying to psych me out here, like trying to give me some confusion. Big hammer, no. And then her hands,
just no.
I'm pretty sure Zoe's pretty capable of fighting with her hands because she's a very capable woman. But I think I would have to go with knives, the D.
We're gonna lock in knives.
Knives,
All right,
correct,
well,
yes.
let's take a look and see if that is correct. That is the answer.
Yeah.
That's 3 for 3. We've hit the original milestone. But we're trying to go above and beyond now. We got some momentum going here. Let's see if we can keep it going. We're gonna go on to question number 4.
Yeah.
What K-pop Demon Hunters song won the Oscar Best Original Song recently? This is a brand new question, fresh.
Chat, oh my gosh.
All right, let's take a look at the answers here. We got Soda Pop, classic. We got Golden, we got Your Idol, and we got Free.
Yeah. Okay, well, this is kind of hard. Do you want to, I forgot how Soda Pop goes. Do you want to kind of sing it for me?
I think we can play that in post. I don't.
You know any of the moves? No. I was just trying to. You've seen it once. It's a pretty popular movie, like you said.
It's a pretty popular movie. It's a pretty good song, but
Nothing stuck?
Not to like put it on the spot,
Well, I think the answer that stuck with the Oscars and what it won is, I think it would be. I'm actually not too sure on this either, but my best guess would have to be Golden. Yeah, I think that's right.
We're gonna lock in Golden.
It's popular
here.
with the kids these days, so.
It's a pretty big song, made it on the radio, heard it a couple of times.
Yeah, I've heard it on the radio.
It's kind of what got me into watching the movie was I was like, even my mom knows about this song. I feel
Yeah.
like I should be watching this. This is probably a cultural.
Gotta jump on the bandwagon.
Yeah, I mean that's how I roll.
Yeah.
I'm never there first. I'm always like in the line to get there.
Correct, yeah.
So we're gonna lock in Golden?
Golden, yeah.
Okay, let's take a look. That is correct.
Let's go, okay.
4 for 5 thus far.
Let's see how this last question's going to be, because I don't know, it could be tricky. The last one's always the hardest one, right?
This one, we're doing a little bit of a curveball.
Yeah.
Get ready. This is our 5th question, our 5th and final question.
Yeah.
Question 5. What is it called when you use 2 hands to dribble in basketball? This is a completely different topic.
This is a redirection, yeah.
We're completely switching lanes here.
Yeah, because
sports.
As nerdy as I am about K-pop, I'm also nerdy in basketball terminology.
Yeah, I heard you play a little bit of basketball.
I did, yeah. I played basketball for around like 8 or 9 years, so.
That's a lot of time. So you should know the answer to this question.
Yeah.
So let's take a look at the answers. We got speed dribble, double dribble, power dribble, and control dribble. quite
the selection here, yeah.
Answers.
Yeah. Speed dribble, you have to be speedy when dribbling. You don't know when that defender's going to come up behind you or in front of you even.
That's true.
And steal that ball away from you. Power dribble, Now, this is what posts do, kind of. And when they're in the post position in the paint, they just take that one power dribble and up to the basket. So that's an actual thing. That's what I call it, at least. And then a control dribble, if you're not controlled with the dribbling, how else are you going to get down the court? But relevant to the question, a double dribble is when is the violation here. You can't use two hands to dribble, so that would be called a double dribble.
All right, really broke it down, you know, giving the audience a little lesson here about some basketball.
I mean, I don't know, I'm pretty nerdy. I don't know if the audience is nerdy about basketball. I have to, you know, sprinkle in a little more ball knowledge.
Ooh, okay, okay, all right. But yeah, it seems like you really know your stuff here. We're gonna lock in.
I know ball.
We're gonna lock in double dribble.
Yeah,
for our final answer of the game. Let's take a look.
Let's take a look.
That is correct. There we
Let's go.
5 out of 5.
5 out of 5.
Impressive performance.
I am kind of disappointed that I set the bar so low for myself because I think this was pretty fun. I really like doing this. I need to get more confidence in myself because this was great.
Right.
I know my stuff.
You seem to know your stuff. And with that final question, that brings this Nerd Corner to a close. We are unfortunately out of time, but I like to think we had a fun time.
Totally. I love being on the Nerd Corner. It's always a fun time here. I'm glad I had my time to shine.
Let's go. I'm glad to have you on the show. How'd you feel about the quiz overall?
I think it was really awesome. The questions were a little, I wasn't expecting those. They were kind of curveballs there. But I had a really great time.
All right. Well, that is it for this episode of Nerd Corner. Would you like to wrap up the show?
Oh my gosh, it's time.
It's
yes,
time.
I would love to.
All right, ready?
Stay nerdy.
Let's go. And that brings an end to this Nerd Central episode. If you enjoyed, please leave a like, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell to never miss an upload from us again. That's all the time we have for today. So as always, stay nerdy.